8 Dates, Essential Conversations for a Lifetime of Love by Drs. John and Julie Gottman, along with Doug Abrams and Rachel Carlton Abrams, is a relationship guide built on decades of psychological research and clinical experience. The book proposes that love is not sustained merely by attraction or compatibility but by intentional communication and the willingness to engage in honest, vulnerable, and often difficult conversations. Through the structure of 8 carefully curated dates, the authors invite couples to deepen intimacy and trust while building a foundation for long-term connection. The premise of the book revolves around the idea that love thrives in the presence of emotional attunement. Each of the 8 dates represents a thematic focus on a vital area of romantic partnership: trust, conflict, sex, money, family, adventure, spirituality, and dreams. These themes are not randomly chosen but drawn from the most persistent and important issues that arise in long-term relationships. The authors argue that avoiding these topics leads to emotional disconnection, while addressing them openly paves the way for resilience and growth. Rather than prescribing rigid scripts, the book emphasizes storytelling and curiosity as the foundation of these date conversations. The Gottmans stress that the goal is not to resolve all differences, but to understand them. When partners listen deeply, share honestly, and remain emotionally present, they create what the authors call a safe harbor, where love can flourish even in the face of inevitable challenges. The first date focuses on trust and commitment, which the authors describe as the bedrock of any lasting relationship. Through exercises and guiding questions, couples are encouraged to share their definitions of trust and recount times when their partner made them feel emotionally safe, or unsafe. This date helps surface any lingering fears or betrayals and provides a space to recommit, not just to the relationship, but to mutual transparency and dependability. In the second date, the conversation shifts to conflict. The Gottmans draw on their decades of research on masters and disasters of relationships, showing that it's not the presence of conflict but how it's handled that determines a couple's health. They present the idea of gentle startups, repair attempts, and the importance of accepting influence from one another. Through personal stories, they model how couples can approach even difficult disagreements with respect and curiosity rather than defensiveness or contempt. The third date dives into sex and intimacy, a topic that is often avoided due to shame, insecurity, or miscommunication. The authors treat sexuality as a living part of the relationship, something that evolves with time, stress, and life changes. Rather than prescribing frequency or technique, they encourage couples to explore what intimacy means to them personally and as a couple. This includes discussions around desire, boundaries, and even past trauma, fostering a more nuanced and compassionate sexual connection. Date 4 turns the conversation to money, often one of the most emotionally charged subjects in relationships. The Gottmans explore how money stories, those ingrained beliefs and patterns around earning, saving, and spending, stem from childhood experiences and cultural messages. Couples are guided to examine not just the logistics of finances but the underlying values. Through this lens, financial disagreements become less about numbers and more about understanding each other's emotional worlds. The fifth date focuses on family and how each partner's upbringing influences their present dynamic. Whether it's about parenting, in-laws, or family rituals, this conversation uncovers the legacies people carry from their family of origin. The authors skillfully walk couples through the process of identifying unspoken rules and emotional patterns inherited from childhood, helping them make conscious choices about what they want to preserve, change, or create anew in their shared life. Adventure and play form the sixth date. This conversation is about joy, spontaneity, and the ways couples can continue to court each other over time. The Gottmans emphasize that novelty is essential for long-term passion. Whether it's travel, hobbies, or trying new things, shared experiences keep relationships fresh and emotionally vibrant. Here, the authors tell stories of couples who rekindled connection by intentionally injecting play and curiosity into their lives, even amid the pressures of parenting or work. The seventh date invites couples into a spiritual discussion, not necessarily religious, but centered on meaning, purpose, and awe. The Gottmans approach spirituality broadly, acknowledging that for some it may be found in faith, while for others it's in nature, art, or community. This date is an invitation to explore how each partner makes sense of life's big questions and what values guide their choices. Sharing these inner landscapes often brings couples closer in profound and unexpected ways. The final date centers on dreams. It's about personal and shared goals, hopes for the future, and the inner aspirations that give life its direction. The authors argue that successful couples are not those who sacrifice their dreams for the relationship, but those who find ways to support each other's ambitions. The conversation is structured to help partners articulate their dreams while also listening for the emotional significance behind them, fostering mutual support and long-term vision. Throughout the book, the authors thread in stories of real couples they've worked with, couples struggling with infidelity, intimacy issues, resentment, or simply the slow drift of disconnection. These stories serve not just as illustrations, but as emotional mirrors for readers. They reveal the universality of relationship struggles and offer hope that even deeply rooted issues can be healed through authentic dialogue. The authors also acknowledge that not all couples will align on every issue. The goal is not perfection but connection. Some dreams may conflict, values may differ, and compromises may be hard-won. But when partners approach these differences with empathy and a shared commitment to growth, they move beyond gridlock into deeper understanding. A unique strength of the book is its emphasis on presence. The dates are not about multitasking or checking off a list of questions, but about creating intentional space, turning toward each other with full attention. The authors offer guidelines to help couples navigate emotional triggers, remain grounded, and return to connection even when the conversation becomes uncomfortable. In addition to communication tools, the book is filled with small but potent rituals that reinforce connection, appreciations, daily check-ins, stress-reducing conversations. These rituals act as emotional glue, reinforcing the bonds that are deepened in the 8 dates. By making emotional attunement a daily practice, couples build a relationship that feels like home, even in times of stress. Ultimately, 8 Dates is a love story about love itself, not as a passive feeling but as an active, evolving process. The Gottmans don't promise instant transformation or happily ever after without effort. Instead, they offer a roadmap for couples who are willing to invest in each other with courage, curiosity, and consistency. The book reminds readers that love is not found but made, one conversation at a time. For any couple, new or seasoned, struggling or thriving, 8 Dates provides not just tools but a philosophy of love grounded in mutual respect and emotional honesty. Through its blend of research, storytelling, and practical guidance, the book becomes more than a relationship manual, it's a guide to a lifetime of meaningful connection.